All right, good evening, everyone. It is Monday, December 4th, 2023, MMAOB Daily Podcast. We are your hosts, as always, Adam Martin, joined by Mr. Big Marcel. Going to recap UFC Austin on this edition of the podcast. And then on the next show, we're going to preview UFC Vegas A3. Just 2 UFC cards left for this year. It's crazy, man. We're almost at the end of the year. It's been a really fucked up year. I have to say that. It's been a fucked up year, but anyways. Marcel, man, like I'm looking forward to talking about this card with you, recapping it. Give your thoughts like on everything with you, man. Like how's your weekend and how'd you like the card, and we'll get into it in a second.
Yeah, man, weekend was good. I think it wasn't a good card at all, to be honest. I'm just kidding. It was a great card.
Great card,
yeah. Weekend was good, man. What else can I say? I think I think it was a really good card, man. From start to finish. Listen, man, I think in my opinion, probably the most uninteresting fight on the card was Font against Figueiredo.
Yeah.
And that was a good fight still, you know what I mean? But it was like after 2 minutes, you knew who was going to win pretty much. So that's why it didn't really interest me at a certain moment anymore. But were good fights, man. I think from top to bottom, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed every fight. I think it was really good. It was pretty much, it's fun. Normally when those fight nights are really good, you're like, it probably only can disappoint, you know? And with this one, there was a lot of hype between this fight night because it was a really good card. I think just like the Jacksonville fight night card earlier this year, on paper, really good. But this one also delivered, not just on paper, but also actual delivered, you know? So, man, I enjoyed the whole night, you know?
Fucking amazing card. I was gonna say last year they had a UFC Austin card in June, and that card was fucking amazing too. They gave out I think like 9 bonuses of that card. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Actually, they gave it 11 bonuses. So in this one they gave out 10 if you include the 2 fight nights, and then that one was 11. That was the Josh Emmett Calvin Kattar card. That was an amazing card too. So, man, if you live in Austin, you've gotten 2 amazing cards in 2 straight years. I just keep going back here, man. It seems that the fighters really step up. You know, for my money, Marcel, I think this was one of the best cards, not only of the year, maybe of all time. I really think so. It was an amazing card.
It was a really good, man. I think the New York card was great for pay-per-view. You know, at 290 was great as a pay-per-view, but this might be the best fight night card of this year. And
I think so. I think so.
It was really that good, you know.
Super memorable, like so many great fights. Let me get some comments here from the guys in the chat. Well, yeah, go ahead. Bro.
You know what's funny? I got like 5 to 10 DMs from people yesterday after Michael Chandler posted the Instagram story, like, dude, are they gonna announce UFC 300? And I was like, he probably gets a liquor deal or something.
Yeah,
you know, that's a liquor deal.
Got tequila. Let's get some comments from the guys in the chat. We got Glenn. Glenn, you're here first, man. Awesome. Octagon updates. Pato, Joe, what's up, brother? Oh, I know, it was a great card, Joe. Craig, what's up, man? All right, let's get into the card. Yeah, amazing card. I mean, really amazing card. Like, let's just go through the fights one by one.
Yeah.
Arman Tsarukyan defeats Beneil Dariush, first round knockout, 1:04 seconds. Arman's the real deal. I mean, I didn't have any doubt he'd win this fight. I had a definite feeling he was going to knock out Arman. Or Arman would get the knockout win, I should say, over Beneil. Because Beneil's been knocked out. This is his 5th knockout loss in the UFC. He's a great fighter, Marcel, but he's never had a great chin. I mean, I think we can say that. But regardless, like Arman said, like he did it faster than anyone else, really. So this was amazing. Other than Hernandez, I guess, a couple years ago, 5 years ago, Alexander Hernandez, which you still think, I think, is like one of the flukiest fights ever, right? Alex Hernandez against
I said all the time, dude, and no disrespect to Hernandez, but always felt that way. So no,
you
know.
And I think the question now is with Arman. He is 8-2 in the UFC. Do you give him the title shot next, or does he have to fight one more time? I mean, the problem is ranked up before now. Go ahead, please.
The problem is you have three people who can argue for a title shot. You got Oliveira, you got Gaethje, and you got Arman. You know, so you can pretty much say one of the 3 got the title shot, and the other 2 can fight each other. Pretty much, you know. I still think Arman should fight Dustin Poirier, and if he wins that, he should fight for a title.
Yeah.
But Poirier apparently don't want that fight, I think. But
who wants to fight Arman at this point?
Yeah, right? But I think if you are like one of the top dogs in the division, and listen, Gaethje won his last fight, Oliveira won his last fight, but Poirier lost his last fight, you know? So he should fight somebody under him, in my opinion, and that should be Arman, you know? You gotta, at a certain moment, those established guys have to fight the newer contenders as well. And you see Gaethje gave Fiziev the chance. Gaethje won that fight. He won against Dustin, so all good there. Oliveira, he fought Dariush, He won against Dariush, so he's back on track again. So for me, it should be Arman against Dustin. Do I want to see Arman in a rematch against Islam? Of course I want to see that, man. It's a great fight, But there are a lot of takers in that division, man. I'd love to see it. I think Arman looked really good, really sharp, but it was really over quick, it was like a jumping knee with a hook at it, and then he finished it on the ground.
Do you think the knee landed, yes or no? What do you think?
The knee, I don't know, man. The hook he landed.
Hard to say, right?
Yeah, is that we also didn't saw a good angle of it, so so it's difficult. But man, overall good win for him, dude. I mean, I'm actually listen, nothing against Dariush, but I'm happy because I felt like Arman when he fought Gamrot that he actually won that fight, and that fight actually set him back a little bit. He fought after that he had to fight Damir and he had to fight Joaquim Silva, and now he is where he's belong, I think, and I'm looking forward to what's next for him. He's one of these exciting young guys in lightweight, so yeah.
Yeah, he's phenomenal. I mean, there's no doubt about it. We've all liked him since the beginning. Like I liked him since he came in the UFC and fought Islam in his first fight. Remember, that was actually fight of the night. That was a really good debut for him because I think everyone thought he'd get washed, and he put up a really good fight. And this is 4 years later. It'll be 5 years by the time he would get a title shot. 5 years later. 5 years later, you have to wait 5 more years. So it's not like it's the next year he's getting the rematch. You had to fight 10 more guys before he gets the rematch. He's more than deserving, in my opinion. I also thought he beat Gamrot. It was a very close fight, but there was like a knockdown in that fight that was missed, I think, by the judges. And it looked like it could have been a headbutt or something. I had a 3-2, but the point is, like, it was a very close fight that I thought he edged out, and it did set him back a bit, I think, because he had to fight. You said like Damir, who I think Damir was like maybe ranked number 14 or 15.
Yeah, he was.
And Silva was unranked. I want to say Damir, is he retired now, or is he still in the UFC? Damir,
I think he's semi-retired, pretty much.
Right.
I don't know.
Well, regardless. This dude's a stud. I mean, think about it. He fought Islam on his debut. He actually fought Olivier Aubin-Mercier in Canada, in Edmonton, in his second fight.
Yeah.
That win looks amazing now, doesn't it? That looks like a great win.
Definitely does.
I know. He also Joe Alvarez. That was a good win. Matt Favola. That win looks a lot better now.
I got to tell you something about this off the record, by the way. Remember me after the podcast.
All right, cool. So I got the inside scoop, guys. You guys don't get it in the podcast. We give you guys as much as we can, but Marcel can't say everything. Anyways, he looked amazing. Here's the thing. So it's just tough because they promised Charles his title shot. It's not his fault. He got a cut above his eye. Like, it really sucks. And you're like, oh, we should be more careful. Well, it's still an accident. It could have happened to anyone, The thing is, though, he's already fought Islam, and so has Arman, but Gaethje hasn't. So I think for me, I would do Gaethje and Islam, right? That's a new fight, and then you could do Arman and Charles. That's a new fight too, and then the winner of that would get the rematch with the champ. That's what I would do.
I'd be good with that. I have no problem with it. The thing is just like, I wouldn't have a problem with it if they do Arman against Charles, and if they do Gaethje against Arman against Charles and Gaethje against Makhachev. I wouldn't have a problem if they do Arman against Gaethje and Charles against Makhachev. I don't mind,
Yeah,
but
all those fights make sense.
These four are gotta be. Listen, if one of these want to wait, you can get Poirier in it. I don't know, but I think Poirier, if he has to fight Arman, man. And the thing is, like, we had a discussion in the Discord with James, on the James Discord, remember, where we like, listen, man. Listen, I have nothing against Dustin Poirier. I think he's an amazing fighter. He 3 years top fighter, But man, it's kind of wrong that some of these guys were on the top. They don't want to fight these younger guys under them, And if you don't want to do that, you shouldn't be ranked, in my opinion. You know what I mean? And I don't say that they should remove Dustin from the rankings. Absolutely not. But I feel like if you lost your last fight, which he did against Gaethje, there is no way he's now getting a fight above him. He has to fight the newer contenders, and that's how I feel about it. So yeah, I mean, yeah.
No, I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. We'll see what they do, but either way, like, regardless, Arman's getting a huge fight in his next fight, and he's very good. And I think he will fight for the belt again soon. Maybe it won't be the next fight, but it'll be the fight after that. All right, let's get some more comments. 10-10 card. Glad the bonuses, because the bonuses. Glad Uncle Data wasn't greedy. I think they broke the record for like the gate in that arena. That would have been so bad if they broke the record, made all that money, and then they're like, yeah, we're gonna give out the 4 bonuses. Like the card was too good. It was too good of a card. It was just too. It was a special card. You know, it really was a special night. I thought too, Marcel. I will say that too. Like the Stuart Scott Cancer Night. I think that's what it was called. The video packages I gotta talk about this for a second. The video packages they put together for Mark Montoya and for Elias Theodoro, phenomenal, like absolute phenomenal.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, dude. I cried a couple times. I definitely did. I mean, I've been in this sport. I've been involved in the community for almost, man, at this point, almost half my life. It's crazy, right? Like these guys are guys that gave their life. Like Mark Montoya is one of the greatest coaches in the sport. Elias Theodoro was an unbelievable guy. You know, it's I can't believe he's dead still. Like he's the same age as me. He's from Toronto, just like me. He's also Greek, just like me. Like I've met Elias. He was such a nice guy. The package they did, and then showing their family in the crowd, dude. I'm not gonna lie, I definitely teared up. It was absolutely a beautiful moment. I think the UFC hit it out of the park that card. You thought so?
Yeah. I listened to it, but I didn't watch it because
it was tough to watch. Bro.
Yeah, that was definitely with his parents were like
man.
obviously in much pain about it, you know, and his brother, you know, his younger brother, I think it was.
Yeah, Michael.
Yeah, just like listen, and Elias always when he was in front of the cameras, always such a positive guy as well, you know, and. I always liked Elias. When I saw him first in the I think Tough Nations, he fought. He won the tournament as well against Sheldon Westcott in the final. Yeah, I mean, it just sucks, you know. Good guy. Always. Yeah, we talk about. I don't want to tear you up, so yeah.
It's okay, man. I mean, like I just. It's tough. I mean, because like he's such a special guy, like to me especially because, like I said, he was kind of one of the when I started covering the sport, he was one of the guys that I first saw. Because I'm looking at his record right now. He fought in Score Fighting Series. When I worked at the Score 12 years ago, I went to those events, so I got to see him fight in his third pro fight, and then he fought in Bellator. He actually fought 3 times for Score Fighting Series. So before he was in, like you're saying, Ultimate Fighter Nations, that's where most people would have seen him first. I had seen him on the regional scene in Ontario. You know, so I had seen him when he was a young guy growing up, and you know, going up like the ladder and then making the card. And yeah, I just thought the UFC did such an unbelievable job. Like, again, we're always talking about the UFC and how they're like this greedy, evil company that just cares about profits. But like, man, they hit it out of the park on this card. Like, they really did. And I'd like to see more of this in the future. You know, I think you have to bring that human element to the sport because there are people at the end of the day. They're not just like cattle that we're throwing into the octagon to slay basically Marcel and see who fights into the death. Like, these are human beings too. They're people with families, like as we were reminded. So unbelievable video package on Elias and Mark Montoya too. Like I said, Marcel, like that was shocking too when we found out he had cancer. I know he's in remission now, and I really hope he's doing better. He's an unbelievable coach. He's a guy that Cody Brown just talked about him, just how much he means to him and stuff. And yeah, I thought they did an amazing job. I know some people were talking about like why did the UFC honor Rumble Johnson? I'm not sure, but they couldn't do everyone, to be fair. Like, it's like there's a lot of people that have passed away from cancer, unfortunately. I would have liked to have seen something for Rumble too, but I guess his family couldn't make it out that night, maybe, or whatever it was. So they can't just yeah, go ahead.
You don't know, because the family of Elias was there, family of Mark Montoya was there. You don't know if these family maybe listen. Maybe this is just right? They said maybe the Anthony Rumble Johnson family said like rather not. You don't know. It's just guessing right now. So it's we cannot really give an opinion on it. Because
I agree. I did think it was funny though. Our boy Zach in the chat, in the Discord chat, he said like, well, his family wasn't there, so they'd have to put Egghead's face on the screen because I was just like the closest guy to him there. I thought that was funny. Let me get some more comments here, guys. Bear say Benny is the same as Charles. That was a bad knockout, but like he's always had a questionable chin, dude. I remember Marcel. I remember like 2014. It's almost 10 years ago. It's crazy. On the Roy Nelson Big Nog card in Abu Dhabi, he fought Ramsey Nijem. And I'm like, oh man, he's going to destroy Ramsey Nijem.
Yeah,
Ramsey was not good. And he got knocked out in the first round. I'm like, oh my God. So I knew at that point that his chin was never that great. And he's been knocked out 5 times now. That's a lot of knockout losses. Again, he's fighting elite guys. So it's like, you can't take much away from Big Benny. But at the same time, Benny's also, I think he's 34, I want to say at this point. He's got family. Like, I don't know how long he fights for anymore, Marcel. I got to be honest with you. He's a guy that I know he loves the sport. But at the same time, you're getting brutally knocked out. And the path to a title shot for Dariush is like, it's improbable at this point. He would have to win multiple fights against elite guys, pulling off multiple upsets. I don't see it happening. The fight against Gamrot was his best fight in the UFC. He looked unbelievable in that fight. It was amazing. But I think that was the high point of his career, you know?
Yeah, the problem with Dariush is that he's super legit, you know, but he doesn't have that star power behind him that some of these guys have at lightweight, you know? And he's not the youngest anymore. So
but I was going to say, his fucking hair, he looks like he's about 60 years old. He looks like my doctor.
Yes, because he has those great parts in it. And
he's a silver fox, whatever they call it.
yeah. He's like, I think he's like, always he comes across like a super nice guy, a super intelligent guy as well, you know what I mean? So, I wish him all the best, but yeah, this is really hard for him, you know. 2 losses in a row. While he was in a good streak, he was on his way for a title shot, but yeah, it's probably not going to happen anymore. It sucks for him, you know. And I think he still beats. We got a question in the podcast, in the Dutch podcast earlier today, like, is Dariush done? I think he still beats a lot of guys in the lightweight, you know. But
what's the motivation, though, right? That's the thing.
Yeah, for sure, you know.
I agree. Okay, let's go more comments. Okay, this is a good one, John. I agree with what you're saying. I got to pull this up, John. Can I pull this up? I'm going to pull it up. So John claims that he's not in the Discord. Now, I want to get your guys' thoughts on this. Here, I'm going to show it to you. Hold on one second. I want to get your thoughts because he showed me a picture, and I want to get your guys' thoughts on this, okay? So here's the conversation I had with John. He said, here's the proof I'm not in the Discord. And he sends me this, right? I'm like, okay. And I sent him this guy. I said, I thought this is you, right? This guy, Marcel?
Yeah.
And then he said, nope, it's not me. It looks like me when I let my beard and hair go to homo status. And they sent me this picture.
That's awesome.
Bro, I go, dude, this is obviously you. Why you're lying to us?
That's awesome.
Sorry, guys. That was just so funny. I had to show that to you. That's right, John. I hope you don't
Shout
mind.
out, John.
Yeah, that was so funny. Arman acting like a dick in fight week will help his title shot chances, says Glenn. Yeah, that I don't know why he would be the one who said that video. It doesn't make him look like good at all.
I mean, he was apparently upset that Bobby called him a boring fighter. And I was like, dude, why you care so much about that, you know? I mean, Bobby can say whatever he wants. And listen, man, you know I'm an Arman fan, but the way he surrounded Bobby was really bad, I think. And people say, like, Bobby threw the first strike. I was like, Bobby didn't want to let him come close, so he pushed him away, you know? And I would have done the same, you know? So, and what after that happens, I don't know, you know? But Arman came up to Bobby, and I think that was bad. You know, he shouldn't have done it. And it's even what you say, it's weird that Arman actually released the video, and everybody was saying, like, dude, you better would have not released that part, you know, because actually it makes Bobby look good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
So,
I agree. Yeah. Let's get to the comments. We have a lot of fights to cover still. Hold on. We got an hour though. It's not a big deal. We got a lot of time. This is a great card. I want to, give these fights a chance. Talk about them. Gaethje gave Fizzy have a chance. Yeah, that's true. Charles and Islam isn't as interesting. Gaethje isn't interesting. Really, I am interested in it personally. I am because it probably takes him down, but if it stays on the feet, it's interesting, right? So.
I mean, yeah. I thought he said. I thought he said something else. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I thought he said the Oliveira fight too. First. Jamie, what's up, man? Yeah, it was amazing card. Oh yeah, Joe, it was definitely tearjerker. Oh yeah, great card, Michael. Pato says, according to Fizzy's manager, they offered the Poirier fight. Yes, I saw that.
Yeah, but he also mentioned that they didn't know if Poirier would take the fight.
Yes, so. He probably wouldn't have. Yeah, the last thing was tough. It was brutal. Dariush and BSD next. I mean, I'm fine with that, but I don't think they'll do it. I don't think they would do it. Like, again, I think Poirier and BSD makes sense. I think Benoit is that guy that he's the wild card, you know? He's the guy that could really be a champ, I think. He's that good. And again, it's crazy because, man, I kind of wrote him off after that fight with Dos Santos. I'm like, man, this guy.
Who didn't?
Who didn't? I know. I'm like, this guy is not good at all. Like, who's this guy? And then now he's turned into a fucking stud. So let's go. Ghost, what's up, brother? No, I appreciate you, man. I know you had like a kickboxing fight or something this weekend, man. If you want to talk about it a little bit here, I'll read the comment for you guys, but for everyone. But yeah, let me know. Yeah, John, that's you. Like, you're a liar, dude. That dude looks exactly like you, bro. Everyone's got a doppelganger, though, Marcel, as they say, right? There's what? Like, how many people are in the world? Like 7 billion people? Like, or something like that? Hold on. How many people in the world? Yeah, it's 7.8 billion. So there's got to be someone. There's someone that looks like me or you out there, Marcel.
Nah, I'd be surprised if there's like a sexy motherfucker like me somewhere else.
There's some schmuck out there that looks like you, Marcel. Good night for the Alan Delz's haters. His fighters went 0-4. I hope James pointed it on this podcast today. Beercho, what's up, brother? He says, I know you think Hooker's a punk, but Armor's a punk too. We're talking about Green and stuff. Yeah, the whole thing was weird. All right. Do you think UFC can sell arenas on a weekly basis? I do. They don't need to go back to the Apex anymore. I'm after this card, I'm done with it. I really am, because it's just so the sport's so much better with the crowd, right? Don't you think? Also, Marcel, my wife read this comment. They should doppelganger Brad Pitt.
Yeah, man. My time with Jennifer Aniston was amazing. Yeah, back in the day. Just kidding. I mean, of course, man. I mean, everybody wants to see arena fights. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
way better.
I think back when they started with the Apex, everybody was like, "Oh, we can hear the impact of the punches, and we hear the corners." And now we are like, "Shut the fuck up." That's like,
even I said that, I think too. Like, it's not like
me too.
Because you're trying to be like, all right, it's not that bad, but like really, the fights in the arena is so much better. Like, the crowd gets into it. Like, those slams, we'll talk about those in a few minutes.
Plus more people can access, and they don't have to ask like $1,500 for seats in the Apex.
For sure. And Edward Vartanian needs to be signed. All right, let's get through the other fights here. We spent a lot of time in the main event, but I mean, it was the most important fight. Jalin Turner defeats Bobby Green. Yeah.
I have to reply to Crazy Pato about the Vartanian. You know, Dana probably thinks he is a power slap guy or something.
Nah. I saw Dana post something saying that like the power slap does more views than Taylor Swift. I mean, this guy is just like, this is.
I saw that.
Anyways, I don't even want to talk about that. Jalin Turner defeats Bobby Green. Yeah, first off, I don't know how he made weight on Friday. So he comes in. I saw you in the chat, Marcel. He looked like a fucking like a corpse on the scale.
He looked bad. Yeah.
I'm like, damn, he's like dying to make the weight, and then I knew he's gonna miss. Comes in at 157. I'm like, okay.
I was still surprised.
There's no chance. I know. I was like, I thought he'd come in at like 159, 160 because it was so short notice. He's so big. Mm-hmm. He's the same height as me and you, Marcel, but he's half of our weight. He's like a third of your weight, Marcel.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So the guy comes in and he's just like looks like death on the scale, and then I'm like, okay, I tweeted about it. I'm like, why did they book this? Like, they shouldn't have did this. And then 5 minutes later, he comes back and makes the weight. So I don't know what. Maybe he took a shit. Like, I don't understand.
Apparently, there was like on the backstage scale, he was on point apparently, and when he came to the podium, he wasn't on point. So they did something. I don't know what they did, but apparently he was on point. Yeah.
Anyways, he looked amazing. Fuck Kerry Hatley though. What kind of stoppage was this? Like, it's just like someone's gonna die. Like, if it's like this. I'm like, wait. I'm like, stop. You know that meme like from Simpsons? Stop. He's already dead. You know that meme? Like, brutally late stoppage. Yeah, I mean, Jalin looked amazing, and I don't blame Jalin at all. Like, you have to keep punching there because it's your job. Jalen's an incredible fighter. He's awesome. The last two fights were very close, right, with Hooker and Gamrot. He lost, but they were very close. He's an unbelievable fighter, man. I don't think his stock really dropped that much from the Hooker and Gamrot fights because they were such close fights. So to me, he's still top. Is he ranked in the top 10? If not, he should be.
Because I think 11 or 12, I think.
I think he's. I'm looking at the rankings right now. Again, okay, first off, he should. I don't know why he's ranked below Benoit Saint Denis. I love Benoit, but what Jalen's did in the division is more impressive. Excuse me. And then Dos Anjos shouldn't be ranked anymore in this division. Why is he still in the rankings? He doesn't fight at 155 anymore. Yeah. I don't get it. Very, very odd. He had a knockout. He had just not TKO. He had a pure knockout. You have anything to say about this fight? The stoppage?
Dude, I mean, when you're under the shower and you wash your dick, that's how Kerry Hatley's hat looked to me after that fight against Green Turner. Dude, come on, man. I mean, what the hell was he even thinking? I mean, I can understand if he's a little bit far from the fight, far away from the fight, then it's all still a fault, But he was watching it, man. He was watching it. And even when Turner really knocked down Bobby, it was already over pretty much. He could have stopped there. But, man, I think like 10, 12 unanswered shots, and he stopped it when Bobby was actually completely knocked out. It's like super weird, And, I got pretty mad about it, because I also immediately tweeted about it, like, what the fuck is going on here, And you saw a lot of people, a lot of fighters were tweeting about it as well. So, I saw a lot of pissed off people. And I mean, I don't understand it. You can make a mistake. There's always room for mistakes, and it happens. But this one was bad, and I honestly think, listen. People can make mistakes, but I honestly would think that revoke Kerry Atlee's license, dude, as long as he does stuff like this, because this is really bad. I felt like he was just enjoying the fight instead of refereeing it. You know what I mean? And also, like, I just don't get it. You know what I mean? I really don't get it. I mean, it could have been worse. And yeah, congratulations to Kerry Atlee, dude. I always had like Herb Dean stoppage with Dalloway against Murtaza Aliyev as the worst one. Congrats, dude. You took the top. Herb Dean went to the second place after this. This was really bad.
It was bad. He's just lucky. Bobby's lucky he didn't get really seriously injured. He got back up like quickly, which was crazy because he's already in the corner hugging Jalin after the fight. I'm like, holy shit! Like he woke up from the dead like really quick. Dude, it was bad.
Bato was right. Bato was right, by the way, with that last comment.
Did you guys notice more rage? Yes, I did. The Corey Cheeto, I mean, now they're justified by giving him a title shot, being like, oh, that's what Dana's going to say. He's like, well, it was a split decision. That's what Dana will say when people ask him about it, That fight was 50-45.
But also nobody fucking asked him about it,
Yeah,
I mean, that's something
they like Cheeto. They like Cheeto.
I like Cheeto as well, but let's be honest here, Listen, if they did Cheeto against Sean O'Malley this month, in 2 weeks in December, I would have said, yeah, maybe there is no other contender. Let's do it. But now they're doing a fucking March, And did you see the Nelk Boys video where he is on the board on February originally tried to plan in Corey Sandhagen against Urman Nurmagomedov? That's inexcusable, man. To have that fight likely to have, it's not going to headline, but they wanted that Sandhagen Umar in February, But in March, we're letting Sean O'Malley fight Vera while Vera lost to Sandhagen recently. You know what I mean? That's inexcusable. You know what I mean? It's.
I agree. Let's get through some of these fights. It's, as far as this question goes, I mean, he's actually not a bad ref in general. Kerry Atlee, he's actually a decent ref. So he'll ref again, but this was bad. And, like, again, he should be punished a little bit by, maybe the next card doesn't ref or something. Because Michael Bell, the judge, he just kind of disappeared now after having one bad scorecard, right? Like, it's just pathetic. Like, that guy, it actually makes me so angry, Marcel, that when, someone that's really good at their job has a bad night at the office, and it's happened to other people in history, but like Michael Bell is a very good judge, and he had a really shitty scorecard, a very terrible scorecard. You can't justify. That's the thing. Like, he wasn't able to justify it, obviously, because they obviously talked to him about it. And he's like, "Well, I just had a bad scorecard." But these other judges get away with these shitty scorecard all the time. This guy, unfortunately, was the guy who took the fall. Sad. Was it the same ref? No, it was Jacob Montalvo.
Yeah, and also Montalvo.
Yeah,
Montalvo is a better referee than he is a judge, by the way.
For sure. All right, let's go to the next fight. I mean, I don't think we need to spend much time on this one. Deiveson Figueiredo looked great. Showed up in great shape. Rob Font, I think he's on a big decline, man. I understand he's fighting like really high level guys. I get that, but like, man, this was not a good look for him. But yeah, Figueiredo, big win, gets into the top 10. Yeah, it was a good win. On this card, it was such a great card. This was kind of one of the low points on the card, right?
Yeah, that's crazy because it wasn't a bad fight, but it was just like, it wasn't spectacular, I think Deiveson Figueiredo, I think the first round was pretty competitive, but Deiveson landed the harder shots, Second round, more of the same, but Deiveson mixed in the takedowns, and Rob had difficulties with it, but he stood up. Third round, completely Deiveson almost finished him, had a good takedown in a certain moment, controlled him on the ground. I mean, good first fight at bantamweight, man, for Deiveson. I think was a perfect opponent pretty much for him. I picked Font to win, by the way, on forehand. So I was like, if Deiveson wins, probably by finish, but if not, Font takes a decision. Nothing at all, Very well done by Deiveson, and looking forward what's next for him, man. Also got asked, like, do you think he will be a dominant at bantamweight? I don't think so, man. I think he's a little bit older already, I think he will do well, but not. I don't see him making a title run, to be really honest. But I mean, people are like, let's book him against Piotr Jan. I'm like, yeah, why not?
Yeah, no, I mean, that would be a great fight. I know they were talking some shit about each other too, right? So that's a good fight. Chris says UFC needs a superstar, desperate O'Malley. Yeah, they're going to give him, they're giving him this fight anyways, because again, the guys he's going to fight coming up are a lot tougher than Cheeto. Cheeto's a good fighter, but this will probably be it'll probably be one of his title defenses. want Figgy and Jan. And that doesn't mean he'll even win because they fought before he lost, by the way. But obviously, yeah, Figgy Jan is the fight that makes sense. Figgy Corey, they already. I think they are doing Corey and Umar, aren't they? I saw that. That was on the
yeah, but that was on the wall for the same date as Hermanson against Pfeiffer, so that's not going to happen on that date. But I feel the same way as Pato, man. Probably Umar Corey for Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about it, by the way, but that's also how I feel the UFC will go, probably.
Sean Brady defeats Kelvin Gastelum, Kimura in the third round. It was kind of a. I mean, I picked him to win. You picked Sean Brady too. I can't remember.
Yeah,
right?
We both did.
It was kind of a boring fight, honestly. Like, it wasn't the most exciting fight, and then he gets the finish. So I think getting the finish is really big for him, because if he just wrote out the decision here, I don't think his stock would have went up that much, even though it was dominant. But the fact he went and submitted him is pretty impressive. So Sean Brady moves to 6-1 in the UFC. I saw Bilal's tweet after. He's like, I thought Sean Brady wasn't that good, though. I thought that was kind of funny. Sean Brady's really good. I mean, we've all liked him since the beginning, right? So go ahead.
Bro, I mean, Brady did very well. Also knocked down Kelvin, I think. Submitted him, Kimura. But listen, man, you saw Brady had a huge chip on the shoulder, coming into this fight. He was really upset on forehand because people were writing him off. He had that finger for his mouth when he finished. It was pretty obvious that he was upset. He called out Ian Gary. But what I really want to see, actually, and it's actually weird because I was like pretty sure who I was going to pick in that fight. But I want to see him rebook him versus Jack Della Maddalena, man. The fight should have happened at UFC 290. Didn't happen because Brady got that injury. I think it's a really intriguing fight, man. Jack is really good stand-up. Brady's ground game is very solid, I think it would be a crazy clash of styles, and I'd love to see it, and then give Brady a good chance, to be honest, after you see Jack fighting against Basil Hafez, where we had trouble with the ground game. He still won the fight by split decision. But I think it's a very intriguing fight. And if you see how Brady fought, I think it was a very complete performance by him, a very good performance by him. And, I'd love to see that fight, man. Sean Brady against Jack Della Maddalena. Sign me up.
Yeah, that fight's good too. I mean, there's a lot of good fights with Sean Brady. He's very good. Kelvin, what the hell do we do with him, though? I mean, he's just...
He should stay at welterweight, man. I think
think so?
I think he looked good on the scale,
Oh, he looked really good. Yeah,
it seemed like he didn't have the same trouble that he had in the back in the day with making weight. And if he's comfortable here, yeah, why not? Stay at welterweight.
Do you remember that when he fought what's it called? Tyron Woodley, and
180.
He missed weight, he came in and then he went to the hospital or something, and they still let him fight. Like, that wouldn't happen now, right?
Woodley let him kept his how do you say that, his percentage. He didn't took his how do you say that, his money.
Yeah, no, I agree. All right, let's see here. Let's go to the next fight. Joaquin Silva defeats Clay Guida. I thought this was a good fight, to be honest with you. It was a competitive fight. Joaquin won round 1 and 3. Yeah. Joaquin's actually, he's decent. His record is 6-4 in the UFC. He's been in the UFC for almost 10 years now, 8 years. So it'll be his 9th year next year. And then obviously Clay's been there, I think, almost 20 years now, right, for Clay? I shouldn't say 20 years. Actually, it's the 16th year, though. I mean, that's impressive.
It's long.
2006, he made his debut against some guy named Justin James. Not that Justin James guy that bet his purse and lost against Charles Rosa, the different guy. I almost said Charles Rosa, by the way. It's Rosa because he's not Brazilian. But anyways, no, I thought this was a good fight. Clay, again, still tough, still very tough. I thought he'd get finished multiple times. Like, he got hurt. Both guys got hurt. Again, they didn't get a bonus. I would hope the UFC slipped them a little bit something. I thought this was a really good fight. I don't know, man. What'd you think? I really like this fight.
Definitely a fun fight. I mean, listen, dude, I love Walk by Pantera. So you already got me.
That was an amazing entrance. Amazing. Yeah. And his brother, Jason. If I was your quarterback, I would slap you so hard, Marcel, before you walked in.
Guida's just an animal, man. It's great, And the thing is, like, I heard many people couldn't watch that entrance because people got commercials over where they're watching. So I uploaded it on on Twitter so people could see it. It's a really fun entrance by Guida, But the fight was great, man. I think it was very competitive. I gave Joaquim the first and third round. The second round gave to Guida. It was just a fun fight, I think it was the right winner, and looking forward. I would say put Guida on the UFC 300 card what he wants, and I was thinking Jim Miller, Paul Felder, but why not the rematch between Jim Miller and Clay Guida? Why not? You know, I mean,
that'd be a good fight on UFC 300. I think that'd be a great fight. You know, personally. Oh, we got our boy Antoine here. What's up, brother?
What's up, man?
Antoine, I feel like I haven't seen you much in the chat. You're still in there in the Discord chat. We don't see you much in there anymore. Hope all is well, man. Opening up the main card, Dustin Stoltzfus submits Puna Soriano. There's always a surprise in every card. I never saw this coming, man.
I would have lost all my money if I put that.
I know. Well, I did have him as a bet, so that wasn't good. It is what it is. I mean, I just didn't expect this. Like Puna, I think he's getting cut.
Buster.
He's getting cut, right? You think Puna?
I hope not. Listen, the thing is with Puna, normally when he fights, it's always entertaining, you know, but hasn't looked good as of lately, dude. And I remember that the only fight he won, I think, was against Dalcha, right? In his last 4 or 5 fights. And was also a comeback win, if I remember correctly. So it's, I don't know, man, what's with Puna. I always thought he was, and I still think he's a fun fighter, but for some reason, he didn't get it clicking for some reason right now. And the thing is, I don't think he looked bad in the beginning against Stoltzfus, but he got knocked down at the buzzer in the first round. And after that, he didn't look like himself anymore in the second round. And man, I'm at the same time, I'm happy for Stoltzfus, man. 6th fight in the UFC, finally a second win, you know, and good for him. Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching his post-fight interview. He talked about, like, he's a guy with, if you watch his interview, he's clearly a guy that has low, like, confidence for whatever reason. And it's actually kind of hard to watch because, like, I've been there before. And when you're kind of like, when you're fighting yourself, that makes life so much harder. And he talked about how, like, he's been so frustrated because obviously the record, but he's had COVID 4 times. So that's why he's had all these canceled fights. And he's been so, like, inconsistent with his inability to fight that often. He's had COVID 4 times. I had it once and it was terrible. I can't even imagine having it 4 times. And he had long COVID too. So, I mean, honestly, man, even though this would hurt me in the wallet, I was happy to see this guy get a win because he seems like a decent guy. But yeah, you know, Marcel, I'm just disappointed with Puna because I think this was a clear setup fight for him. And he shit the bed. And I think he's getting cut. I think so. So, this is funny though. By the way, yeah, the Army, they got to do that. Bring Rob Van Dam out from. Remember, I don't know if you watched ECW back in the day.
No, but I know what he meant. Yeah,
bro, ECW was fucking amazing. I don't watch wrestling anymore, but back in the day, ECW, I thought it was like super real and stuff. They had like barbed wires and the guy, the Raven, and all those guys. Man, it was fucking amazing. Toriano was a huge favorite, losing better money. Yeah, well, I got caught speeding this time, so Antoine's been busy. Yeah, no, I understand, Antoine. Hope you're doing well, though, brother. Puna got signed the same Dana White Contender Series episode that Brendan got snubbed for obtaining takedown. Did he really? Oh my god, that's funny. Yeah, Brundage and Stoltzfus is good. Okay, let's go to the next fight. We both picked there Miesha Tate. We just didn't trust her, but we should have because my god, did I not say though she should have been the favorite? I mean, that didn't make any sense. I just didn't have any confidence, you know. But man, this was a wash. Miesha Tate 3rd round submission, 32-3 in strikes, significant strikes landed. Total strikes 127-11. 10 and a half minutes of control time. This fight wasn't close, but here's the thing: like, I don't think it's like a fight that's like, oh, she's back and she's going to be a contender again. I just think Julia Alvarez is not that good, man. What do you think, though?
Yeah, man. I don't want to say anything bad about Julia because she's really, really fun.
Sure, she's a cool
person.
But like,
but she looked. It pretty much looked like. She came back worse than she was, you know, and I don't think she was worse, but she was like pretty much mid-level, you know, in the UFC. But I know she was pregnant, you know, and she got injured also, so a long time not fighting, but didn't look good at all, man. Pretty much didn't know what to do. Good for Tate, you know, but I feel the same way as you, man. I think Tate did well, but I don't see her winning against, how do you guys say that, the upper echelon of the division. So, yeah, I don't think Tate will be a champion or anything close. And she asked for the Holly Holm fight at UFC 300, and I mean, why not make that fight? You know, do it. Why not? I think Holm likely wins the fight, but do it.
Yep, no, I agree. They might do that. By the way, Zach,
as long as you don't make it a 5-rounder.
Yeah. Zach, what's up, brother? ECW for life. That's a Philly promotion. It was. Easy to say the post-fight. Julia say injured, be the first takedown. I don't know, man. I don't think it would have mattered. Like, I'm looking at the fight with Eubanks, the stats are like identical. You know, almost again 10 and a half minutes of control time, and that's the kind of the fight I was looking at as the blueprint for this one. All right, let's talk about these next 2 fights in succession here because I don't know how this happened. So Drakkar Klose destroys Joe Selecki with a power bomb, and then Cody Brundage does the Zach Reese right next fight. 1 minute and 41 seconds, 1 minute and 49 seconds, back-to-back fights. There's never been 2 slam knockouts on the same card ever in the UFC. There's only been like I think 14 now, right, in UFC history, and then back-to-back and basically at the same time. Unfucking believable. Both amazing knockouts. Like, and you knew they both get a bonus because you can't not give those slams bonuses. I can't believe it, Marcel. Any thoughts? I'm still in disbelief this happened back to back. Go ahead.
I think it's amazing. By the way, nothing against Zach Reese, but dude, I was so happy for Cody Brundage, man.
Sure.
I mean, the dude is such a nice dude. I talk to him sometimes. He's such a nice guy. He got a lot of shit over him after that Malkoun fight, you know.
I also think that fight with Cedricus Dumas was also really bad, man.
Yeah, and he knew that. He's like, fuck, dude, I feel so good in the gym, you know, and it doesn't come out for some reason. And now finally he got a bit. This is a big win for him, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And
yes,
he
sir.
also, I think he lost his granddad on Wednesday, I think.
So that's terrible. That's so sad, man.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
You know?
And I'm just so happy for him, you know. And listen, also Drakkar Klose. So Lecky did well, man. He immediately took it to the ground, you know. But Klose got loose, got on top, and he had him in an armbar, you know. And he actually, perfectly lifted him and on the side of his head. I think Drakkar Klose deserves a top 15 guy, or either somebody close to the top 15. He's a super underrated guy, man. And look really good, and it's just 2 great finishes, you know. Great for Drakkar, but yeah, like I said, man, I'm extra happy for Cody because I think he's a great guy, and I'm happy he got the win like that.
No, I mean that was a good win for him. Very good win, and both guys. I mean, it's unbelievable. This card was so good, and like these slams, like unbelievable. I was like, holy shit, and then it happened again, crazy. Joaquin Buckley Gastelum, sure, but I want to say, didn't Buckley win his last fight, or am I wrong? I can't remember now. Did he win his last fight, Buckley?
Yeah, against who did he fought again?
It's so sad. There's so many fights we can't remember.
He fought recently, actually. I think.
I forgot. Let me double check. Was it Fialho or was it someone after that?
Morono.
Morono. Yeah, that was the one. Close Rebeski, or Rebeski Dober. Actually, has Close fought Dober yet? That would be a good fight, wouldn't it? I don't think he's fought him, has he? Close and Dober? That would be a good fight. So. Jakar and Ferreira is good too. That's also a good fight. All those fights are good. Diego Ferreira is really good, but he doesn't fight that often. Adolfo Villotto defeats Ihor Pateria, knockout, second round. Fucking amazing fight. I know it was sloppy, but like a lot of heart by both guys, man. This is like one of those fights to the death. Villotto goes like, I don't remember anything. And that, what's his name? The interpreter guy, Fabio, starts laughing. He's just laughing, right? He didn't need him anyways. He spoke good English. He's like, oh, is it my dreams since I was a little boy to fight in the UFC, and now I don't remember it. I thought that was funny. A great fight. Like, Ihor was destroying him, though. I can't believe this guy came back and won. Like John said, his chin was ridiculous. Like, his ability to withstand punishment was unbelievable. I'm glad Dana gave these guys bonuses. I think they both deserve it. I really do, man. And guys like this, Marcel, we always talk about it, like, not that the guys in the main card shouldn't, or the main events and stuff, but the guys in the bottom end of the prelims, these are the guys that really could use those funds. And I think both these guys really, really earned it with this fight. I love this fight, man. Go ahead.
I tell you, Bellator will be on the main card next time in the UFC.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I mean, his contender series fight was crazy already against Talia. You know, he also got tagged early. And this one, dude, Bellator is kind of a guy, you know, when you go like to Brazil, you know, and you go to like an area where not living a lot of people, and you have to fight like the strongest guy from that town, you know, and he comes in front and he has that steel chin, you cannot get him out. It's like, that was crazy. He took so many shots. Potiria couldn't put him out, and then smart by Bellator, you know, because I don't think his shots were as hard as Potiria were on the ground, but he just kept going, you know. He didn't stop. And Potiria was like one shot at all, one shot again, you know, and Bellator just kept how do you say that, unloading on him, you know. And I mean, great fight, amazing fight, definitely deserved fight of the night, and in my opinion, maybe winner or contender for comeback of the year as well, you know.
It's up there. I mean, it was an unbelievable comeback. It was an unbelievable fight. the thing was the Ehor, he basically blew his load, right? Because he couldn't finish him, and then he got exhausted. But like most guys would get finished from that. So
also, let's be really honest. If Montalvo would have stepped in at a certain moment, I don't think anybody would have said.
I thought he was going to be honest.
Yeah.
And then actually, I'll give the ref credit. He did a good job.
Yeah, me too.
Jared Gooden submits Wellington Turman. Unbelievable. Another guy I'm really happy to get a bonus because he's also kind of been one of these guys that's been on the periphery of UFC.
Yeah.
He's been a guy that's struggled and also struggled to make weight. He came in, he made weight like with the what's it called? It's not the towel. What's the thing called? The box of shame. Yeah. He made it though, and goes in there and I thought he was going to knock out Wellington, but he submitted him. So that's unbelievable. And Wellington is getting cut, right? I would say he's 3-6 in the UFC.
The weird thing with Wellington is that he looks better every time I see him fight, but for some reason he got a suspect chin. He got a suspect chin.
His chin is not that good. No. Yeah. I thought it was funny though. Like I was watching Gooden's interview too, and he goes like, someone asked him like, "What do you think of him having like Alex Pereira in his corner?" He's like, "Well, I always think it's funny when these guys have these like UFC champions in their corner. It's like, bro, these guys can't fight for you. Like you have to fight for yourself." So I thought that was funny. But yeah, good for Gooden. And then the first fight in the card, Veronica Hardy wins a split decision over Jamie Lynn Horth. I was wrong about this one because I thought Jamie Lynn would win the fight. I got to give Veronica credit. She won the first 2 rounds.
I agree.
Not a great fight, personally. I mean, I would say I don't know. It was an okay fight. It wasn't bad, but
I think I think Hort didn't look bad, And I think Veronica Hardy, we got to give her credit, man. She didn't fight for 3 years. She came back. She won against Juliana Miller pretty convincingly, and she defeated Hort, who was undefeated. So I think, I think it does. And also, can we talk about Veronica Hardy before she met Dan Hardy? She always had like that nasty, very unpleasant look on her face. She's a nice girl, but she really looked like she wasn't happy. And now, since she is with Hardy, she looks like she's much happier. She's waving to everybody. She's like super. She looks just very happy in a happy place, And I think that makes a fighter better as well, And man, Bisping with his crazy comment. I don't know if you heard that.
I heard it.
Yeah, he's like,
he's not wrong though. He's not wrong.
No, true, but I was like, come on, dude. He was like, yeah, she's now training with her husband, Dan Hardy. She's always in bed. She's also in bed with him. I was like, yeah, obviously, dude. So, but yeah, I'm happy for Veronica, man. I always felt like she's pretty decent. She has that win over Poliana Viana, right, with the armbar, remember? And that was like for a long time her only win in the UFC. And yeah, I'm
it's crazy though. Like when Dan was fighting GSP, she was like 15 years old. It's crazy, right? Like
that sounds so wrong, but it's not wrong because they met after. Yeah.
That's the thing though. As you get older, it doesn't look as bad now. And obviously they met each other when they were adults. It's not like the Pat Barry situation whatsoever. Nothing close to that.
Do you want to make that bridge to the Ian Gary situation, Adam? Is that what you were trying here?
Oh, God, Jesus. No, because I think good for Dan. He's 41. He's got a 27-year-old wife.
For sure.
Pretty good fighter apparently, and I think she's one of the better looking fighters too. So good for him, man. I mean, nothing else to say about that. I always liked Dan Hardy as a fighter, man. I thought he was great. Yeah, I want to say he used to be married too. I think this is his second wife, right? I want to say.
I'm not sure. I'm for sure he was with someone else when he was in the UFC.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe they weren't married or something. But either way, good for him. And the comment for Bisping was so funny. Anyways, oh God, I don't want to read that comment from October Updates. Hardy came plus 180. Yeah, I saw that.
You should show it, dude. Come on, yeah.
I'm not saying it though. Anyways, that was it for UFC Austin, the recap. Okay, so out of 10, I would give it a 10. I'd give it a 10.
9.5.
Yeah, you're hard to please. No, I'm kidding. It was an amazing card. I just don't think it could have really gotten any better. I guess it always could be better, I guess, but man, I don't think it really could have gotten too much better. It
was really good.
Yeah, it was fucking unbelievable. You wanted to talk about the Ian Gary thing? Do we need to?
Yeah, why not? I gotta say, man, I was laughing when Rebecca Bisping's wife was replying to it on the podcast. Bisping tried to. It was like continually for hours there was comments about it, and he didn't reply to it, And then his wife read one. It's like, yeah, but she likes the attention. I was like, okay, and he was, oh no, don't say that.
I don't think he's wrong at all. It seems like they like it, but I know that. I know they think they both made their Instagram private. Honestly, Marcel, I don't really care about that much, at this point. Go ahead.
Honestly, I feel the same way, you know. But the thing is, like, there are people like they don't understand why fans and fighters go after Ian Gary. It's because of the behavior, guys. I mean, he's the way he acts towards fighters. After the Song Kenan fight, he won. He posts a picture of Song Kenan like, "That's what you get after signing a contract with me. I take that personal." That kind of stuff is just annoying. The Neil Magny, which he tried to paint him off like a child beater, pretty much. He over exaggerated it, in my opinion. You know, the Jeff Neal thing with the mugshot. I mean, we can go on. You know, at a certain moment when fans or fighters can get back at you, they will. You know, and I don't say it's a good thing, but it happens. You know.
I'm just looking at the comments on his wife's like Instagram right now. They're so brutal, dude. Like they posted a video of him and his son, and someone wrote, "Who's the father?" Like, so
I saw that, man. I saw that,
bro. This is fucking brutal. But you know what? It is kind of karma that like people were saying, right? Because the thing with Magny, I mean, that's
you know what the funny thing is, Adam.
Yeah,
he says like, I don't care about it, but you put everything on private. You care about it. You know what I mean? And the thing is, at a certain moment, it's a little bit more like not a lot of people say anything about it, and then his wife posts an Instagram story about it again, and then it starts again. So it's like, if you don't want to have this the whole time around, don't do it. Dude, the presser at 296 is going to be absolutely nuts, and I wonder I wonder what the UFC is going to do, because you know the UFC likes Gary a lot, so maybe they're going to do something else. I wouldn't be surprised, you know. Maybe they don't let Gary in the same room with, for example, a Colby Covington or a Leon Edwards. You know what I mean? Or maybe they talk
some mad shit about him. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah,
they're going to put this guy in his place. You know, again, he's a good fighter, though. There's no doubt. Like, he's a very good fighter.
Oh, he's a good fighter. He doesn't need that shit. Also,
I know this is tough though, man. Because I'll tell you right now, if he loses this fight to Luque, I think it's going to be very difficult to bounce back mentally. I'll tell you right now. Like a week before Christmas, he goes and loses this fight after all the shit the fans have been talking to him. And again, it's like some people were saying, it's kind of karma for all the comments he was making about you know, Magny and a few other people. Although I will say this too, Magny, you know, I saw his interview with James. You know, he's in a child custody thing, and he's saying like they're using the comments against him, which they would, because I'm in a child custody thing right now. I know exactly. Dude, they use everything they can. Like any text message you've ever sent, any phone call you've made.
I was thinking about you when I saw that.
Well, I did. Here's the thing. I never like touched my kid ever.
No.
And you know, I know he said whooping, spanking, whatever. I've never done that, right? So, thankfully, because his comment was, you know, taken out of context, I guess. And
yeah, of course.
Yeah, I mean, but again, they use it against you. I know this now. Like any text message you said that. It could be any, like I haven't actually I've read all the text between me and my ex. I can't really talk about it right now because it is in court, but I don't really believe that I've said anything that bad, thankfully. But I mean, if I had, I'd be screwed, you know. So unfortunately, you go clip that headline and say, you know, Neil Magny said he whooped his son's ass, and they're going to throw it in the court for sure and be like, hey, look, he admitted to child abuse. They're going to say that. That's what they're going to say.
Yeah,
so. You know, I think Neil's a decent guy, but he's the one who made that comment, and you know he is taking the high road about it right now. I saw his interview with James, and he was like, "Hey, you know, I actually don't have any ill will towards Ian, and I actually feel." He actually said he felt bad for Ian, which is good because it showed that Neil's taking the high road. But I'm telling you, man, these lawyers are fucking ruthless. Anything you say can and will. You know they say that, Marcel. Anything you say can and will use it. They do. Anything you've ever said, like comments you've made years ago, they'll use against you. It's beyond fucked. And you know, like I said, I don't think I've said anything that bad. So I think I'm a little bit lucky. But had I been an idiot and wrote some stupid shit, I mean, it could be a lot worse. So yeah. So, but yeah, no, it's just brutal, man. The whole trial, it fucks you up. Like, I mean, I know Neil's fighting he's fighting Mike Malott in Toronto, right? Yeah. So we'll see how he bounces back from that, because it's something that really affects your mental capacity, because you're always thinking about it, right? Because it's your kids. Unless you're a shitty dad or a shitty mom, you don't care about your kids. But I think Neil seems to care about his kid. I love my daughter. I think about her all the time, you know? So again, I wish I could talk about it more, guys, but it's just like I'm in the middle of the court thing right now, so I really can't say too much.
Let's hope in the future you can say more on its.
I'd love to. I can't wait till it's over, and then I can actually. It's kind of like like I know Jamal Hill was kind of saying the same thing. I haven't been accused of any of that stuff, but like Jamal,
we should talk about that as well.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about that. Like he said that he said he's going to talk about it next year. He said I can't wait for my day in court, and I'm going to talk about what happened. And I feel that, but at the same time, I will say this. So the headline for TMZ, when it says domestic violence, automatically I saw the headline like, oh, he must have beat up his wife, right? Because that's what you would think. That's what you think. And then you read it.
That's a fucked up thing.
It's fucked up. Now I will say this: that is technically domestic violence too.
Yeah, of course, but yeah.
The headline reads, I know.
Like I said in the Discord chat with James, I understand there's also domestic violence, but at the same time, TMZ knew what they were doing, and that's the thing. You could have put there it's with his brother, Now you have to click the article, which they obviously want. Before you know what really up, and a lot of people, like 70% on Twitter, only read headlines and don't read the actual article, So, and also I'm really against framing people when it's not yet. It's not proven, you know what I mean? So
absolutely, that's the thing. You should be innocent until you're proven guilty. I will say this though, as I'm finding in the family law thing, it's almost like it's the other way around. You have to prove your innocence. It's kind of fucked up. That's what Jamal's doing right now, basically. Although he's not talking, he's just like, I can't say anything about it, which is smart. You can't say anything about it.
And that's why I can't stand these people who already have something against Jamal. We're going to use this shit against him now,
Yeah.
Nothing has been proven yet. And I'm also talking to you, MMA Joey.
What did Joey say? I didn't even see.
He was on Twitter. He was like, so domestic violence, what about if he raped his brother? So it wouldn't be rape.
I saw that tweet.
It's so annoying, the dude obviously
clicks.
Yeah, for cloud, but still, he has a problem with Jamal Hill. I had my troubles with Paddy Pimblett. If Paddy Pimblett gets accused from domestic violence, do you think I'm going to do that? I'm not going to even reply probably to it.
Yeah.
So I really hate that kind of stuff, and that's why I also pretty much called him kindly out on the Discord chat, like stupidest tweet ever or something. I don't like that kind of shit. If you have trouble with a fighter, don't try to get extra ammunition when nothing is proven yet. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's how I see it.
No doubt about it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what happened with Jamal's situation. He's obviously been advised by his lawyer not to say anything. That's the smart thing to do, And Jamal's got money, right? He's a UFC champion. He's not broke. He's got some money. He's obviously got a good lawyer that's going to help him out. And I have a feeling that nothing's going to come out of this with Jamal. That's what I think is going to happen. I think it's going to be something where he goes to court and they come to some sort of agreement, and that's it. And you might not even ever hear the details of actually what happened. I think that might be part of it too.
Yeah, you don't know the family situation as well. You don't know if they got in a fight, and maybe let's just say hypothetically he punched him. His brother is like, okay, now I'm going to call the cops, and then he actually punched him. I don't say that it happened. I'm just saying it could
allegedly,
and then he gets a mugshot, and people are like, yeah, he's that fighter. He probably would have done it. And we know Jamal is kind of emotional sometimes, when he talks, So people are already like, yeah, that's pretty possible. I hate that, man. I always hate that when somebody got accused from something that is maybe not, which is possible true, but it's not proven yet,
Yeah, I know.
If nothing is proven, you should still give the benefit of the doubt to the person who got accused from something. That's how I feel about it. I feel in normal day society, when something like this happened, people who got accused of something are already being how do you say that, prosecuted or whatever, without even having proof. Yeah.
And honestly, when you see it, it's tough not to sometimes. I remember that there's that pitcher in baseball, Trevor Bauer. All these, allegations come out about him sexually assaulting women, and there's multiple women, and you're like, holy shit, this guy's a scumbag, right? But then it comes out that the lady lied about it, right? And what happened to him? He lost his career in many ways. He doesn't pitch in MLB anymore. And I think he pitches in Japan or Korea now or something, but he lost a lot of money, obviously. So it's one of those things, man. And again, as a fan and as a person, you see that headline and you kind of think, yeah, this guy's a scumbag, but really you don't know the full story, right? And the truth is, Marcel, as time goes on, especially after the whole Me Too movement and everything, you're seeing this a lot more now with people coming out and saying all this stuff. But I'm on the side now where taking a more different approach to it, and then I'm like, okay, let's just wait for all the facts to come out. So that's why I try not to make comments about this now, because I think. Go ahead, yeah.
But these women who do that to men, those are the real devils, dude.
I know, bro. They want to destroy their lives.
And the actual women who got actually raped or got domestic violence.
It's a real. I think it's a real slap in the face to the real victims.
Yeah, exactly.
Women that aren't, or not even women. It could be men too, like in Jamal's case, right? Like we don't know what happened there, so I don't want to talk about him. But just saying, like men, there's men that are accuse women or other men of domestic violence, right? But again, it destroys people's lives, because when you hear this, you're like, oh fuck, DV. Oh, that person's a fucking scumbag. But again, you don't know the whole truth, right? And again, I'm going to try from going forward, and I have been for a while, just take a more cautious approach. And like West Coast said, this is exactly what it says.
Yeah.
And I saw the thing, I seen the mugshot on TMZ. Like I opened my phone up, right? I was just out that day, opened my phone up, like, holy shit. Because that's what you think. But that's not what it was. And I'm not saying whatever happened to his brother, like whatever, I don't know what happened there. Obviously, none of us do. Hey man, we don't know what happened. And listen, men can also be the victim of it. There's no doubt. But I just think the way they wrote that headline, they were trying to get people to click on it.
Exactly.
Like, that's what they were trying to be like, holy shit, he's a fucking wife beater. That's what they wanted with that headline, right?
Yeah.
Yes or no?
Yeah, but and then you have those fucking SJWs on the internet who are like, yeah, but do you want to say that when it does it to his brother, it's not that bad? We don't say that, that if that happened to his brother, it's not bad. But there is a huge difference by beating up your brother and beating up your wife, and it's still bad both, it's still bad at both, but that's a huge difference. Imagine if you have to think about it, if you are married, for example, and you got in a fight with your brother, and later comes out you indeed hit your brother, then people saying like, damn dude, that's not good. Now imagine the same thing happens, but you beat up your wife. You might lose everything. You know what I mean? So there's a big difference there.
So I'll end it with this. I'm just going to end this conversation.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Excuse me, guys. Have you noticed women can lie about getting abused by men? Nothing happens to them. Yes, I've noticed that. It's not
really
fair.
bad.
It's not right. It's not right. Anyways, I think we had a good discussion about it, to be honest with you. Again, like, it's one of these things, man. It's the way society is these days. People are quick to judge, and to be honest, Marcel, I've been quick to judge too. And I'm being very, and you have too. We all have, but we all need to be a little bit more careful, I think, going forward, because again, we don't know all the details of these things, and until we do, and you never really find out, right? You never really truly know the truth. Because I'll tell you this, Marcel, there's the two sides, right, and then the truth's in the middle.
Yeah, sometimes, also not always. There's people who can definitely lie. You know what I mean?
Well, people are good liars. There's a lot of people who are good liars. And I'll tell you right now, the justice system, I think it really takes advantage of people that are honest. I think it eats people up that are honest. The best thing you can do, and they always talk about this in like police shows and stuff, remain silent. Like the lawyer will tell you to shut up. You really should. There's a reason they say that to you. You know what I mean? Because again, everything can and will be used against you in court. And I think Neil Magny's a perfect situation of it. Like, again, I just think Neil shouldn't have said that stuff. It was a mistake on his part. He made a fucking mistake, and it's going to be used against him in court. He's talked about James in his interview. It is what it is. Just be careful what you say. But I'll tell you this too. Like, I mean, at the same time, if you're a lawyer and someone does say that on the other side, I don't blame you for taking advantage of it either. Their job is to help their client. So if the other client said something stupid, even if it's taken out of context, that's their job. So
do you know?
Go ahead.
Do you know that thing that I remember with that one championship guy who won his trophy, and that's the ring or octagon girl comes next to him, and he's like, puts his arm around her, and he's like, give her a hug,
Sure.
and she is like, stay away from me, pretty much. And then I think he got accused for sexual harassment or whatever, and then in this next fight, he won. And then the miss comes to him again, and he's like, no, stay away from me. He keeps his hands on his back, and she comes close to him, and he keeps running around the cage because he doesn't want to be close to her, because he's like, I'm not going to get another shit after me. You know what I mean? So yeah, you got to be so how do you say that? How do you say that? So these days, I don't get the word right now. You got to be so on your
toes.
Yeah. All these days with all these kind of things, and
Yeah.
sucks, dude. But yeah, what can we say?
Anyways,
You should end. Sorry. Yeah.
No, it's okay. I think we had a good discussion here. It's always a good discussion. So, yeah, just be careful what you say. That's really, and careful what you do. Anyways, I think that was a really good discussion. We're gonna get out of here. We're gonna start a new podcast in a second, here, guys. We'll go through the UFC Vegas 83.
I have the right topology order right now.
You do okay. I want to give a quick shout out to MMAOddsbreaker.com, which obviously is our home. Nick asked me to plug the new part of the website that's I'm trying to find it right now. The new tail of the tape. I want to just show you guys this. So this is on the website. Nick asked me to do this, and I want to do this for him. So he actually asked me last week, and I forgot. I felt bad, but here we go. So there's a new part of our website, the new tail of the tape, and it's pretty cool. And Nate Latshaw, I think you know him, Marcel, from Twitter. He does this really cool tail of the tape thing, and you can it just helps you break down your fights. I think that would be the thing you could say. So it's a cool feature. I don't know if it's working right now perfectly, but I can close this. I don't know why I have it open, but yeah, it's pretty cool. Nate's a guy that's a data scientist, I think. So want to give him a shout out. Anyways, Marcel, we're gonna start the new. Oh shit, this fight's off. Damn it, Giga and Josh Emmett. That sucks. All right, let's get to the next podcast, guys. Twitter at Martin, Big Marcel 24. I'm looking at your thing. It's screwed me up for a sec, but like, share, subscribe, do all that stuff, guys. And I know there's some people that do listen to the audio version, and I try to put it up the next day. There's been a few times where I forgot, and because I do it all manually, right? Like we don't have a team here. It's just me and Marcel. And Marcel, I wish we had like an intern. We should hire like an intern to be our bitch, our whipping boy. Be like, yo, you do this. I also want to give it a shout out to Fight Talk Only. He always gives us the artwork. And the guy helps us out a lot, so I wanted to give him a shout out. Anyways, we're gonna start the new show in a second here, guys. Just stay tuned to my Twitter and Marcel's. We're gonna tweet it out and talk to you guys in a few minutes. Peace.